Opiate dependencies kept me stuck for so many years because of my emotional and mental pain.
It started off with Percocets, and then I ended up shooting heroin.
I was strung out on crack cocaine. I began to shoot heroin at the end of my addiction, and I got locked up.
I came to Chrysalis House in August of 2001 in shackles. I was addicted to opiates. I was addicted to crack cocaine. That was my life. I felt that I was going to die.
I'd used for 7.5 years. I became a heroin addict. I had lost both of my children to CPS.
So I had somebody come up to me and say, look, you can buy heroin. So I started doing heroin. I sniffed it for about a year, and then I started shooting it. So I've been shooting for 4 years.
I had no hope. I had lost all relationships with my family. I had lost relationships with my daughter.
In the state of Maryland, there clearly is a heroin epidemic. It's maybe started with painkillers that were given, and then when no longer painkillers were available, that certain individuals were looking for something to substitute for it. It's a very real problem. We're looking for solutions.
We're one of the few facilities that allow women to have their children here in our facility. So we would like to learn more about what is the impact of having the children here at our facility with their mothers, and can we do more for them?
Women shied away from treatment, either alcohol or drug dependence, because they were worried about the impact of someone knowing about their addiction. Would the state come in and take their children away?
When I lost my children to CPS, I knew nothing about Chrysalis House. I knew nothing about treatment center that allowed you to take your children with you. You know, when I came to Chrysalis House and I watched how the mothers had their children and how the staff interacted and helped them learn the parenting skills and life skills that they needed.
I, for a long time, have been a believer that we're just now stepping out of the dark ages of treatment when it comes to, treatment for addictions in terms of what science knows about the disease of addiction and what works for treatment and what doesn't.
We talk about this being a disease, and it is, but the stigma still remains, and we're trying to change the language of how we talk about addictions.
What's unique about Chrysalis House is that we love. When the ladies come through the door, the first thing we promise them is that we're going to love you until you learn to love yourself. And I'm talking from experience. When I came in Chrysalis House, I didn't know what love was. But Chrysalis House wrap these women up. They make them feel good about them. They tell them that what they've done in the past does not dictate their future.
And I believe that this place is still standing because of the compassion that all the staff has.
The staff is really caring. They really care. It's not many places you come and they're actually so involved like the staff is, and they know where we've came from, and they don't treat us any different.
So what Chrysalis House did, came up with, okay, we want to do continuing care. So what we do, we have supportive housing for women and children. We have supportive housing for single women, which give them an opportunity to get more treatment and safe housing. And, we have served at IOP over 180 women, and out of those 180 women, we have 75% of them that are still sober.
When I got here, I was just so grateful that I was finally getting the help that I need, because I struggled with addiction for almost 30 years.
Some of the challenges that we have are the fundraising and the court systems that are seeing the need to place our people with this issue of alcohol addiction or drug addiction out in facilities such as ours.
When you contribute to Chrysalis House, you really are not just making a contribution, you're making a difference. And you can see the benefits and the results of that contribution tangibly.
I think that this issue is better helped in facilities like ours rather than in prisons, because the recidivism rate in prisons is much higher, and we provide a much better environment for their recovery.
In terms of larger philanthropy, we want to have as many partners who recognize the need for addiction treatment. We're really looking for people who have an interest in this issue to come to us, see Chrysalis House here in Crownsville, understand the issue and how they might help.
It gave me a foundation to be, to be safe at, to always know that there's people there for you. And it's great that it gives you an opportunity to be independent. You still have your structure and you can still go out job seeking and actually start to live your life.
When I was at Chrysalis House, I became a manager of a store, and I never thought that, society would give me an opportunity because of my drug use. I had been using for over 10 years, and, somebody gave me an opportunity. So Chrysalis House saved my life.
The butterfly is the logo of the Chrysalis House, and that whole concept of transformation and change is what we try to replicate for the women who come into the program. At that point, that caterpillar doesn't know what's on the other side. It only knows that it's supposed to weave a cocoon. And while it's in that cocoon, that's when the transformation takes place. Chrysalis House is that cocoon.